Welcome. My name is Preston Spratt at Sprattronics Learning Lab. Welcome to the very first week of our elementary LEGO Robotics class. Now, this video is for anybody who has just received a kit. You probably still have it zip-tied up top. What we're going to be doing today for our first weekly lesson is we're going to be meeting one another. We're going to unbox our kit. We're going to learn how to access the LEGO Education Spike app online. We're going to upgrade our hub. And then finally, we're going to do our first build, the Arctic Rover. Go ahead and take out your kit. And this is for anybody who has not unboxed their kit already. We've got another video all about unboxing the kit. And you can follow along with that. We'll just go over a few things on how you're going to do that. But let's take some scissors. We'll cut our zip tie right off. That can go into the trash. And let's take a look at what's inside. Right on top, I've got this piece of paper that's going to show me where to go. I have a whole sheet of stickers, and these stickers, you're going to follow the directions right at the bottom and label each of your bins so that you can always find the correct Legos when you're looking for them. Got these trays. I'm going to set these off to the side. And now we're into the bottom of our bin. And I recommend taking everything out of the bin. Some pieces of paper you might have, it is safe to throw most of these away. They're just some legal paperwork about lithium-ion batteries, how to dispose of them, but we're going to be using everything right inside our kit. I typically don't hold on to these things. I just throw them right in the trash. We've got bags that are already color-coded. So it's going to make it really easy when you follow the directions and you put your stickers on your trays and then you just dump the bags right in. Now, one thing I want to make a note of, this extra set of Legos, these are little pieces that you may lose over time. Feel free to put this box somewhere safe. You could leave it right in the bottom of your bin. I put mine in a cabinet in my classroom, and in 2.5 years of doing LEGO Robotics, every single day with classes, we still have not had to get into our missing or our extra pieces kit. So if you keep this organized, you can build everything that we go over in this class, as well as hundreds of other creations without ever needing to get into this box. Or if you feel like you need some extra pieces as you build, this is a great resource to get into. I'll set this off to the side. I'm going to leave most of my colors in here because there's a few things I want to show you right now for the purpose of today's lesson. Take a few minutes, put your stickers on your trays, and then dump your bags out into the correct trays so that they match each of the stickers. You may be wondering where some of these big pieces go, like these big squares. These will actually go into the very bottom of your tray. There's not a labeled sticker on any of the inserts for those, and so those will just drop down. This whole bag, you'll empty it out right into the bottom of your box. Inside this box should be our hub, and a hub is like the brains of your robot. So we'll unbox it. I've got the hub right here. There's a gap inside of it, and that's where our battery is going to go. And our battery is right here. Inside this box, we'll take the battery out. You'll see there is a little black piece right here. Hold that out. Maybe it'll focus on it. Probably not. But there's a little black piece that looks like it has 3 indentions, and then inside your hub, you have 3 little copper wires. And so you'll match those pieces up, press it firmly in, and it'll snap into place. And now your hub is ready to be used. To turn the hub on, you just press that button on top, and it should start to flash. Now it's flashing that orange color because this hub needs to be charged. These cardboard boxes, I just throw away. I do not keep them. They just get in the way, and so I toss those. The next thing you're going to want is to grab your USB cable. This is going to let you charge your hub, as well as be necessary for what we're doing today, which is going to be connecting our hub to our computer, upgrading the hub so that it can connect through Bluetooth in the future, and then finally building our Arctic ride. Let's dive on in. I'm going to set this tray out of the way. And on our computer, open up a web browser. That could be Google Chrome, that could be Microsoft Edge. Possibly it'll work using Adobe Safari or Apple Safari, but I am using Microsoft Edge today. And I know this works on Google Chrome. I know it works using Microsoft Edge. I like the web app better than the downloaded app just because everything is current on it. Now, we did have a hurricane here in South Carolina recently, which shut down our internet for about 2 weeks. And so for 2 weeks, we did download the app from the Android store, the Google Play Store. We also downloaded a version onto an iPhone from the Apple Store. And the app worked just fine. I just know to have the current codes, the current lessons, and the most up-to-date information, I prefer to go through the web app. Sometimes the downloaded app that you would save on your computer that does not need internet access, sometimes it has some errors or doesn't get a new update. So that is why I recommend using the web browser version. On your computer, you're going to go to spike.legoeducation.com. And that's going to take you to a screen that looks like this. Select your Spike solution. We want to pick the picture that matches our box, and we have the green Spike Essentials box for this elementary LEGO Robotics course. We'll go ahead and click on Spike Essential, and this is our very first visit to this website. What we will do today is we are going to go through the getting started steps. We're going to learn how to connect our hub to our computer. We're going to upgrade our hub, and then we'll finally dive into building our Arctic rover. On the Spike Essential homepage, you've got 2 places I'd like for you to click. You can either click on Start right up here, or you can click the rocket ship that says Start. These will both get you to the same spot. I'm going to click on the one that says Start in the green banner, and now I'm on Tutorial Activities. These 5 activities are going to get us started with connecting our hub, getting our hub connected via Bluetooth, and letting us know that we're ready to access all the lessons in the future. So here's what we will do. Let's go ahead and click on number 1, the motor. We're going to learn how to make the motor turn. I click the next arrow to go on to the next page. We're going to need our hub. So take out a hub, and you'll take out one of your motors. Now, this is my first time using this motor, so I'll take it out of the cardboard. And that cardboard I can throw away. And we're going to plug our motor into port A. And when I look at my hub, I see where it says A, and so I will plug my motor in to A. I'm ready to press next on my screen, and now it's time to connect my hub. So press and hold to turn on your hub. We're going to tap that little square button 1 time, and it should make our hub start flashing. We'll open the connection window by pressing open, and our LEGO hub will appear on this screen. So I click the blue pair button, and this is the first time I'm connecting, so there's a pretty good chance that it's going to ask me to update. Now it looks like I didn't do it fast enough or my battery died. So I'm going to try this one more time. I click open, I find my hub in the pop-up window, I click the blue pair button, and I'm going to see this light turn solid blue. Now, this is our first time connecting, so we need to give this hub a unique name. Name it whatever you want. I like to name mine usually the location I keep it at and what type of hub it is, but I'm going to give mine a unique robot name. I'm going to call mine SpikeBot. Name yours whatever you want, and then click Done. It now tells me that it is connected to SpikeBot. I've clicked Done. I know my program is working correctly because in my top left corner, I have a green check mark showing that it's connected. And it also shows me that I'm connected to a motor right now. We're going to be using something called icon blocks to code this to make this to work. So let's drag the play button up. And what this means is when I push play, do something. Right now, when I push play, it'll do nothing because there's nothing attached. So let's tell it to turn our motor. So I drag the next blue block up. So when I push play, I'm telling it to turn the motor 2 times. So I can click play on my computer and I see that my motor turns. This is a great indication that my hub is working and my motor is working. We've done 5 out of 5 steps for this tutorial. Let's press the check mark. Now we're ready to try a new module, the light. So let's learn how to turn on the light. I don't need my motor anymore, so I can unplug it and set it into my box. And in the bottom of my box, I should have a light. Now, there are 2 objects that students oftentimes get confused with, and we are looking for the one that has 9 small squares on it. That one is our LED matrix, or our light. So we've untangled it. We have our light. I see that we're going to plug the light into port A. And now we're going to create this program to turn on the light. We drag the play button up because all programs need to start with a play button or a scenario or an event that starts the program. The event that will start this program is when I push the play button. And then we're going to drag up a purple light block. Let's press play and see what happens. I see that my light turned on. Now, let's change this light a little bit. When you're coding using the Spike app, there's going to be little arrows or buttons underneath the code blocks. Let's click that arrow button underneath the light block, and it's going to give us some options. Can we change the lights to match this pattern? I see the top row should be red. So I click on the red light, and then I'm going to click on each individual square to change the color of the lights. Our second row looks like it should be orange. So I click orange and then click on each square, and that bottom row can stay yellow. When I click out of it, my light turns off. To get it to turn back on, I have to hit the play button. And if I hold it up like this, I'll see that my light has matched the pattern on the screen. So we've pressed the play button and matched the pattern. We're ready to go on to the next tutorial. All right, 2 out of 5 are finished. I'm going to unplug my light. I can drop that down in my bin. And I'm ready for the color sensor now. This was that other box that I mentioned will probably look like the light, but it's actually a color sensor. A lot of times students confuse this for a camera, and it's very similar to a camera, but it's a camera that can only recognize colors. I see in the picture I'm also going to need a motor. So I'm going to bring that motor out from earlier. And now I have my hub, a motor, and my color sensor. Let's press the next button. So plug the motor into port A. I look at my hub, I find port A. I'll plug my motor in there. And then I'm going to plug my color sensor into port B. I'll set that on my table. I'm ready for the next step. We need to create an event that will start our program. This event is different than that play button. This now says, when I see red. When I see red, what should it do? Those blue blocks turn your motors. So when it sees red, it should turn the motor. Let's press play, and nothing happens. But that's because the event has not occurred that's going to start this motor. I need a red block, and I haven't unbagged mine yet, so I should just be able to hold a red piece up, and now my motor turns. Now I want you to change the color of your event, so instead of a red block starting it, it's a yellow block that starts it. We'll click the arrow to open up some more options, and I will push yellow. Now let's press the play button. Nothing happens because our event hasn't been met. I'll take a yellow block from my yellow bag, hold it up to the color sensor, and that causes my motor to turn. We're all done with the color sensor and the introduction there. Now, this is just an introduction to make sure that all your parts work. If for some reason this isn't working, let us know and let's troubleshoot it together. We want to go through these steps to make sure that each piece we received in our kit works correctly. Over the next 12 weeks, we will go into deeper lessons on how to use all these input devices, all these output devices, and how to really use this LEGO Robotics kit. So that's why we're going through these quick tutorials today. We are testing everything out to make sure it works correctly. Next is something called built-in gyro sensor. A gyro is a input device or a measurement device that determines if your hub has been tilted in some direction. So I see we're going to need a motor for this. So inside your hub, there's a built-in gyro sensor. It knows if your hub is tilted forward, backwards, left, or right, or even rotates around in a direction called yaw. And we'll talk more about those later. So let's plug our motor into port A. I'm going to hold both in my hand. Now we need to create a program that uses the gyro sensor to make the motor turn. We'll drag up our event, our starting event, and this looks like when the hub is tilted. Start the motor. Let's add a blue motor block so something happens when we tilt it. And let's push play to send the program to the hub. I'm holding it still and nothing's happening, but as I start to tilt it, it makes my motor turn. And you can do this over and over again, and it looks like it can only tilt one direction to start the motor. Now change the program to make it so it tilts when the motor goes the other way. Remember, we can press that arrow at the bottom to get some more options. Right now we're telling it when it tilts to the right. Let's change it to tilt to the left by clicking that left button. We'll push play to send the new program to our hub. I tilt to the right and nothing happens. I tilt to the left and it's ready to go. Excellent. We've used the gyro sensor now. If you're interested, you can click on word blocks. I'm going to go deep into word blocks in week 6 or 7 of this 12 weeks course. So for now, I'm just going to skip that one. If you haven't already done it, now is a great time to put the labels on your trays and completely unpack your kit. Once you've done that and your kit has all the pieces color-coded and easy to find, we're ready for the next step, which is our first build, the Arctic Rover. This is a really cool build that is going to give you the opportunity to build a vehicle that you can then program to follow a certain path or set directions that you give it. Fantastic job on following along. Today we have met other students that are in our class. We've connected our hub to our computer. we have unboxed our kit and we've tested to make sure our motors, our hub, our color sensor, and our light all work. So, next step for you is completely unbox this kit, get everything ready and organized, and then we're going to dive into the Arctic ride. Thank you.